diets are increasingly popular. But if unbalanced, can lead to nutrient deficiencies, such as for protein. Protein, and more importantly, its building blocks, the amino acids, are vital for human health. Unfortunately, plant-sourced foods are generally considered lower in protein quality than animal-sourced foods because they contain lower amounts of some amino acids that the body can use efficiently. Therefore, it is not surprising to find that vegans may face a daily challenge of choosing the right types of plant foods to meet their protein requirements. I studied the dietary intake patterns of New Zealand vegans. So let's take a look at 3 examples. First of all, we have Mandy. She's a vegan who enjoys a diet that is high in protein intake and protein quality. But for Sandy and Jerry, they are short in these factors. And even for Jerry, who has a relatively high protein intake in the middle of the day, this does not guarantee protein quality. I want to help individuals like Jerry and Sandy meet their protein requirements. But in order to do that, I need to understand where the nutritional risk lies, and that requires me to study their daily dietary intake. Now, this is just 3 individuals. How can I efficiently study the diets of hundreds of dietary patterns? I use a machine learning technique known as dynamic time warping, which essentially does pairwise comparisons between dietary patterns. Using this approach, we can cluster similar profiles together and efficiently identify the individual who has an optimal protein intake and quality, and that is obviously Mandy right at the top of this heat map. We can also see from the darker green cells that there are many individuals that are facing the problem of low protein intake and low protein quality. So, how can we help individuals like Jerry and Sandy? You guessed it right. By using Mandy's diet as an inspiration, we can look more closely at what she's eating, what works, and from here on model suitable or more appropriate plant-sourced foods that would be complementary to each other in the right proportions to meet the nutritional outcomes of Jerry and Sandy. And this is not just for protein quality. It can be used to assess other nutritional patterns and the diets of humans and other diets of humans as well. Sorry. Every meal is an opportunity for optimal nutrition, which must come first in any diet. Therefore, well-thought-out food combinations will help us break the wall of unbalanced vegan diets. Thank you.
Kia ora, Patricia. Any questions for Patricia?
Thank you. I was just a bit unclear what the data inputs are into the system. Is it real people's diets? Is it a range of people's activity levels, age, the usual demographic factors?
Yeah. So we surveyed 193 food dietary data from New Zealand using a cross-sectional study. And what the vegans did is that they have recorded what they ate at the time of the day for 4 days. So what we can do is that, because diets, even within one individual, can change on a daily basis, right? You could have a wild weekend outside and go to work the next day and have very different diets. So the machine learning technique actually use a data-driven approach to compare the shape of, let's just put it simply, the shape of a person's diet pattern over the day. So like breakfast, lunch, dinner, only for protein intake and protein quality. And so what the algorithm does is that it compares one participant with another participant, and it reiterates through all 193 participants over 4 days to get profiles that are the most similar and profiles that are the most different.
Another quick question?
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the machine learning technique that uses to cluster these individuals?
Yes. So dynamic time warp was actually used to let the data tell the story. And from there, it elucidates a distance matrix. And with that distance, we can actually use that for clustering. And that one is a SOM, which is a self-organizing map, but I've also tried it on hierarchical clustering as well. So the distance matrix will tell us how close two individuals' diets are to each other. And this is efficient because it helps us to understand people's diet every day, as compared to past research where they have simply segregated meals to breakfast, lunch, dinner, and that creates a certain level of bias.